All right, all right. Okay, there we go. There we go. All right, what's going on, party people? What is going on with you today? All right, give y'all this moment to hop in here for those who desire to hop in, and let me swing over here, put that on mute, and see what we got that's on and popping and stuff. I'm just doing a quick test of new camera setup I got going on. So want to see how this here works. I don't expect too many people on here today because we got um it's the holiday and everything. So and all that. What's going on, party people? My girl Shantae, what's up? What's up with you? So let me let me turn that down and everything. I'm doing really, really, really well. Um, I was supposed to have a signing tonight, but I got some other stuff that I got to do around 7:30 ish, and there's a chance that and it got delayed. The signing got delayed. It came in today, and then it got delayed, and I didn't want to run a risk of trying to rush through the signing. And I know everybody's all about doing the signings in 15 minutes, but just talking to the guy, I don't know if he even understood what was going on. So I didn't want to rush through. So I just said, you know what, I'm gonna have to pass on that. So it got pushed back 30 minutes. And depending on the situation, 30 minutes can be a lot, depending on what you got going on. So so I was like, man, I'm not gonna be able to really to do this right and to give this man my full attention because my mind's really already on what I got to do afterwards. So when they asked me could I still do it, I had to tell them no, I wasn't because of appointment coming on after that. And with that being said, then I said, well, I've been playing with this new setup with StreamYard, and that's what we're using here, StreamYard, to do the live streams and all of that. And I figured, I said, you know what, let me go ahead on and test out this new option they have, and to have two cameras and everything. So hey, what's going on, TB? So you had a couple of debt settlements, but I know. I'm not saying now, y'all know I talk about doing them, and I'm not saying that you gotta like them. Okay. I'm not saying you have to like them. What I am saying is you got to make that money. Okay. So if you don't have anything else coming in, yeah, just like today, I picked up a loan application. Um, Not that I don't like loan applications. And to be honest, not too many types of orders I don't like. Um, I mean, I'm okay with all of them, to be honest, and everything. What's going on, Miss Gibson? The party people in the house today. Yeah. So, um, that is something that I'm testing out. Stream elements. That's something that I'm testing out through the YouTube. I haven't had a chance to go back. I had to give it access, and I guess it's supposed to be monitoring the the live stream and gathering data and feedback, and then I'm supposed to go look at it. So I got to figure that out in a little bit. And I can see my video clarity is a little janky right now and stuff. So let me check my internet connection. It's showing me. Hold on, let me see here. Let me switch over to this analytics. Yeah, I'm just trying to just test some stuff out here. So I might be pushing my stuff to the limit and everything. So we'll see. We'll see. All right, so it's connecting over here. And all right, so that one down there looking better. Yeah. I mean, yeah, well, the debt settlement, that's between them. You know, they the ones that's in debt. They the ones that need to get out of it. And if they don't do what they need to do, okay, looks good. All right. Yeah, it looks like it's finally clearing up and everything. So it might be on YouTube. But yeah, the debt settlements, well, that's with any of them. I mean, to be honest, any of them, they could back out of any of them. So I mean, it could be a hassle for any of them. So I try to keep an optimistic view because the debt settlement and loan mods are really to help people who are in a financial bind, help them out. So that could be it could be key. But then if they want to back out because they're unsure or maybe they don't like the terms, and I granted, and I've done videos about this, the terms aren't always good for them. You know, it's going to always favor the person who's helping you out. And that's with anything in life. If I'm helping you out, the terms are going to always favor me. If I have a credit card company and I give you a credit card, the terms of the credit card of you using my credit card are going to always favor me. They're not going to favor you. It's going to always favor me. So, hey, what's going on, Crystal? So that's the key. It's going to always favor the person who is giving and all of that good stuff. So I'm just checking here now. I want y'all to, and I'm doing this test here to see how this new camera setup looks and everything. And I had to clean up a little bit so y'all wouldn't see all my little mess and all of that. So with StreamYard now, you can do 2 camera views and everything, and you can do them simultaneous, but I'm gonna do it one at a time and then simultaneous and everything. So I'm gonna hit the solo view for the second camera. Boom. Yeah. Yeah. Only thing I don't like, it shows my bald spot a little too much there and everything. So I might have to start wearing a hat and all that good stuff. But or cut my hair down way, way low. Well, summertime coming up, so I cut it. My wife should cut it down for me a whole lot lower. But the way this here is, it has 2 cameras. Got my main camera in the front and then the side camera. And now, of course, y'all can say, well, it's a little blurry. Yeah, the focus with this particular camera is a little janky. So I've been trying to it depends on right now. The focus is on autofocus. So I'm trying, let's see if I can. Yeah, because this stuff here is too far away for the camera, and the camera only has a certain depth to it. So it goes by what's closest to it. Then I would have to, you see, if I tried to fix it to it for the stuff in the back, it can get a little iffy. So I just keep it on autofocus and everything. But yeah. So this here now with the second camera, because y'all wouldn't believe, I get people asking me questions about what kind of printer you have. Do you have this and that? Maybe they don't believe I have it. So here you go. So now you can see I do have a printer. I do have a scanner. They're right here. Now, my older videos, when I first started, I had things set up a little different to where I was more at an angle and I will be sitting off to the side and to where you could see that. And then now I'm more straight on. And it seemed like now, because people can't see this stuff, they don't think that I have a printer and all of that. Just like something else I got to fix on here. Hold on. One of the other things. Something else I had up there. So like now, it says, yeah, I heard that we can get. Everybody keeps saying it. Okay, let me ask you this, Platinum CEO, and the link is in the description if you want to hop on and ask the question and talk to me about it. Tell me what trouble we can get into. That's what I want to know. Everybody keeps saying we can get in trouble. Have they defined the trouble that we can get into? That's the question. So you see the double. I like this here. So to help me out, define. Okay, and this here is very key. Okay, this is just a straight business concept of mine. Okay, whether you adopt it is up to you. And I'm not getting on you, Platinum CEO. Here's the deal. Somebody, you're in the industry, somebody tells you you can get in trouble. The first thing that you need to do as a business owner is have them define to you what that trouble is. They need to define it. They need to really explain to you what kind of trouble, the ins and out about this trouble that you could get into. Okay. They need to give you clear answers on that. Just to say you could get in trouble doesn't mean anything. Oh, you can get in trouble. You can get, look, all of us can get in trouble for just doing the notary work. So what kind of trouble can I get in doing a debt settlement that is more trouble than if I was doing a loan modification or a loan closing or just a regular notarial sign? I mean, it's all, you're doing notarial work. So what kind of trouble can you get into? That's the question. You see what I'm saying? That is the question and everything. So I know get a part of people had. I know. Thank you. I know. So, oh, you like the double? Yeah. I'm feeling this. I'm feeling this and everything. So I like this. So it means now if there's a particular camera arm that I want to get, or articulating, reticulating, whatever they call it, because sometimes I want to be able to do have here a document and I want to be able to show y'all. So then that way, instead of me just always pulling it up on the screen, I can actually hand write into the document and everything. And you can see, so I can have the camera facing down over the table here, over the document, and then you could actually see what I'm doing. Now, I do know there's tablets out there. One of them's called Remaker that you can get, and even on the iPads and all of that. You can have, and everything, but I don't feel like buying nothing like that and everything. Yeah, I'm showing off a little bit here and everything. I'm trying to be as tech savvy as I can be. I'm trying. So she says here, Uncle Grill. Yeah, thank you. So my lady, so platinum seal, that's why I put the question. Okay, but see again, what did they tell you? See, here's the thing. Here's the other thing. This is what a lot of people do. And again, this isn't getting on you because you're not the only one that does this. There's something that's being said. And what ends up happening is the notary, the new notary, you or anybody else, you hear this and then you say, well, I'm going to hop on and I'm going to ask this person, whether it's me or someone else, I'm going to ask them so that they can elaborate. But see, it's not for us who you're asking the question to elaborate on what kind of trouble you could get into. It's the person who said it. It's their responsibility to elaborate. See, the thing is, this is where a lot of notaries have gotten in trouble. And this is the biggest thing that I've learned. And my lady, Mary Trice from Tennessee, we've talked about this before. Notaries hear stuff from one person and they never challenge that person who they heard it from to clarify and to quantify what they said. They go to somebody else and ask them to clarify what someone else said. And I stopped doing that. So it's somebody over here, because see, at first, I don't know who the person is. I don't know what the circumstance was. I don't know what the thought process is or any of that. So for me to try to clarify, and I could give you an answer, but I'm not until I understand clearly from you what has been said. Because for me to try to answer that, to me could be a little reckless, because I don't know where this person is coming from when they say you can get in trouble. They need to define that. And if they're not mature enough to do that, then they need to be quiet. It's that simple. You can't just go and just grab, oh, they said I could get in trouble. Well, then they need to define what kind of trouble that is. What kind of trouble could you honestly get into as opposed to other trouble? Because here's keeping this in mind. This is not a trouble-free zone being a notary, because what? We have E&O insurance, because E&O insurance in case you do something wrong, which means you're in trouble. So in and of itself, being a notary, you could be in trouble. Case in point, I did a closing today, reverse mortgage. The couple was worried. I could tell when I got in there. I couldn't pick it up on the phone, but it was a much older couple there in their 60s. 60s. No, I'm sorry, 70. The gentleman said he'll be 75. So they're in their 70s. And he said the other notary had to come back 3 times to get their reverse mortgage stuff straight, or whatever the loan documents was that they did, whether reverse mortgage or whoever. And they was concerned. So while we was talking, I did the oath with them, and they said they didn't do that. So the other notary didn't do the oath, and she didn't put, and they told me it was a lady, and they didn't put it in the logbook. Okay. So my thing is this: if you are worried about being in trouble for anything, that's what you can be in trouble for. Not issuing the oath and not putting people in the notarial logbook like you're supposed to. You're supposed to do that. But my state doesn't doesn't require us. It doesn't matter what your state requires. If you're going to be doing mortgages and you're NNA certified, you should be putting it in there. The NNA suggests and says we're supposed to do that. That's what we're supposed to do, irregardless of whether your state has a requirement for you to have a notary logbook. But what notaries do, this is where the laziness gets in. I don't feel like doing all that, because some states you have to record each and every individual notarial act, and they don't want to do that. So guess what? I ain't doing it. My state said I don't have to do that. And guess what? That probably came from someone doing what? Making a statement saying, oh, well, if your state don't require you to have a notary logbook, you don't have to. Or they said it this way: my state doesn't require me to do a notary logbook, so I don't keep a logbook of everything that I've done. Same difference. Somebody made a statement, and you didn't clarify, you didn't challenge them on that. As I've always said, stop being afraid to challenge people on these notarial statements. Okay, you need to be willing to challenge them. If you're unwilling to challenge them, then you're going to get yourself in all kinds of trouble. So you do. Oh, you think it looks professional? Okay, cool. I know one thing. I don't like the blurriness over here, so I am probably going to get the same camera that I have on the front. I want to do on the side, because now I upgraded my StreamYard account, and now I can do 1080p. And the Logitech camera that I have doesn't do 1080p. The next Go camera I do does all the way up to 4K. So I need to change that. So I'll be getting a new camera and everything. So in the industry, and especially in business owner, you need to interrogate the advice people are. Look, you're right, because I'm fully open for y'all to interrogate me. I am fully open. If I say something, you have every right to challenge me. You have every right. Yeah, I used to do photography in the day, so everybody get the little small, tiny lights, but my lights are huge. Yeah, my camera lights are really, really big. So I use that. Let me see something here. Let me see something. And let's see here. I'm trying to see if I can share something. Okay, I got that. And then let me see if I can figure this thing out here real quick. Like, try to see if I can find. I had a little device on my thing here where I could share my phone out. What is this called? Let me see if this is it. Nope, that's not it. I forgot what I did. I had something on my computer where I could share my thing out, but I'll figure it out later. Well, hold on. Let me do this here. See if y'all can. Oh, wrong camera. This is what I use. This is my light stand, and you can see my camera right there. This is my light. I got two of these big lights and everything with the soft box on them and everything. So it has a soft box, and what that does is instead of you pointing the lights directly at you, like with the ring light is right in your face, I have it out, and I don't have any other lights on in here. I don't have any other lights on. I just have those two lights, one facing, they're facing opposite, so you don't. And with the white background, it causes the light to reflect. So let me just show y'all so you can get an idea how bright this is. As you can see, I got to get real close. That's how bright those lights are. Okay. That's how bright they are. Those are the only two lights. I have what I call an accent light here that I can use, but that's just to illuminate. So I just have that here sometimes, but I don't really use that too much. So this is how dark it is in my area. Now, if it was daytime, it would be a lot brighter, but this is how dark it is. And then when I use those two lights, it illuminates it much better. So boom. So it illuminates it way better. So this year, that's how I have my setup to have much more even light. Some people like the lighting to where there's a shadow, over half their face and all of that. And they try to create a separation between them and the background. And sometimes they'll have a backlight like a orange, purple, green, or blue accent light in the back, and I may do that in the future. What I'm actually thinking about doing is putting a painting back there or something, and that's part of the reason why I have the couch, so you can see, so I don't blend into the couch, have the black chair, the couch, so there's a little bit of you can tell there's a little bit of depth of field, so I'm not blending into the chair, I'm not blending into that couch, and then I'm not blending into the wall, so there's a little bit of separation there. Yes, I got photography skills and all that good stuff. So what we got going on? What we got going on here? Let me go back to this here. So like the lighting. See the question. Yeah, the really the pros and cons of the debt settlement is on the customer. It's the customer that needs to do their due diligence. It's not us. We're there to notarize the documents and everything. So that's on the customer. And again, Platinum CEO, I'm not getting on you because a lot of people do the same thing what you did. They will call me, text me, email me, hop on the live and ask a question, and they want the answer. They just want an answer. Should they or should they not? The honest truth is that you need to question them. If somebody makes a statement, i.e., starting with me on up to anybody else, you need to question them and say, hey, you said this. What did you mean by that? And I got plenty of videos out there where I'm say certain things and then I come back and clarify all of that. So it all depends on you. You got to let me do that. So you got to ask the questions. And that was one of the first things that I learned as a business owner, that it is up to me to ask questions about what people share with me and everything. That is correct. The notary logbook is a receipt because of somebody. Just imagine if you did that as a power of attorney, a power of attorney closing. You need to have the ability to, if somebody questions it or what have you, that's your proof that you did meet with so-and-so. They showed you IDs, because here's the thing. And this is how notaries are getting away with that little creepy thing of somebody, what is it? Man, I lost my train of thought. Oh, somebody, like FKAs and AKAs. And somebody needing to have a ID in their former name, but you go ahead on and notarize the signature of the person in their former name. So it could be Jane Jones, formerly known as James Williamson, Jane Williamson. And they don't have ID in Jane Williamson, but they have ID in Jane Jones. Well, if you don't put that in the logbook, nobody can ever prove that you ever saw valid ID of that person. And again, we're supposed to be to prevent fraud. So that's the point of having that logbook. It protects you. It protects you. Okay. So what else we got going on up in here? Let me go back, make sure I don't miss. Okay, somebody said they got the ADS mobile scanner. Cool. I'm checking. Haven't looked into that scanner yet, but having a mobile scanner is key. It's very, very key. Very, very key. It says, well, instead of doing a video on the library, I can do it right now. One of my favorite books, The Mindset Book by Carol Dweck, talks about having a growth mindset versus a fixed mindset. Growth mindset, you're open and you're willing to learn new things, push yourself to different limits. A fixed mindset is that you believe that this is all you are, this is all you can be, and there's nothing that can ever change about you. So you just stay where you at, and you just stick there, and you don't try to ever change who you are. I'm trying to see if I can read a quick excerpt out of here to help you understand what this book is really all about. But The Mindset Book by Carol Dweck, excellent book. I love it. You really should get that book. This is one from Grant Cardone. I just got this one. I haven't even opened it up yet. Let me show my man's name, so I don't want him, if he find out, he'll be like, why I covered his name up and everything. So just got this not too long ago. Haven't even opened this one up. Well, now it has. Another great book, Atomic Habits. Oops, covering his name up. James Clear talks about having some consistent habits, how to develop consistent habits. Now, I'm gonna tell you, when you combine these two books, I'm gonna tell you, you'll believe in yourself to do any and everything. And then to top it off, boom, No Excuses by Brian Tracy. I'm gonna tell you, these three books here, Self-Discipline and Personal Excellence, like it says here, you are your most valuable asset. Your life, your potential, and your possibilities are the most precious things you have. Thus your great goal in life should be to fulfill that potential and become everything you are capable of becoming. That's what it boils down to. Your ability to learn, grow, and fulfill your potential is unlimited. Today, people are graduating from high school and college in their 70s, learning new subjects and developing new capabilities. Your ability to learn and remember, can continue throughout your life if you keep your brain alive, alert, and functioning at its best. Here's the thing. Let me expound on that. Going back to the question that's I forgot. Tag on it. CEO. What did it say? CEO something. You know me. I be Platinum CEO. And again, this isn't picking at you, Platinum CEO. So please don't take it that way. But this here. People will say things and it can stifle you. See, when somebody makes a statement and then you go and you question what they said and you ask them, hey, okay, and you start having a dialogue. So Griff, okay, you said that ... Okay, in my case, you said, well, Griff, you said that we should be willing to take, orders that's under $100, since, people always hear me say that. Or better yet, let's go this route. Griff, you're always talking about how, don't worry about trying to explain the documents, which I'm public enemy number one with a lot of people because I talked about that. Well, here's the deal. The reason you say, well, why do you feel that way? Because everybody else teaches that you should know the documents and you have to know the documents in order to be a good notary. Okay, well, here's the thing. Is there anybody out there truly teaching you how to understand the documents so that you'll be able to articulate to that customer what they need to do or what they should be aware of or understand in a summary form for every single client that you're going to have? Because the person who's teaching does not, hold on. Oh, okay. Okay. Sorry about that. Just orders coming in all quietly. Nope, not doing that one. That's not. So, so it's like, is anybody really teaching that? Yeah, they're giving you an overview of documents that you need to overview. So your overview, so your document training is an overview for you to give an overview of the documents. But here's the problem. You're brand new. You're stressed, you're nervous, you're scared. People done said all kind of things. You done heard all kind of things being in those Facebook groups. And now you get your first order and all you're thinking about, and anybody in here chime in if I'm wrong. And the first thing you're thinking about for a lot of y'all is it's not even about how to notarize the document. It's what you're going to say about the documents, how I'm going to answer a question about the documents. What do I say if somebody's asked this or that? What happened? And you're focusing on all of these things that you have no control over. And the one thing that you're there to do, you're not even thinking about it. I'm just letting that sink in. You're not even thinking about the one thing that you really are there to do, what you rose your hand and said you would do. But you're worried about the mistakes that somebody else would make in a document that has nothing to do with you outside of notarization. That's it. So when you don't question people, it causes you to stop thinking and to stop having an active mind. And then you're just sitting back and allowing yourself to just be told what to do. And we've all been there. And in other areas of our life, we could be there right now. And in other areas, we may not be. But when you sit back all the time, it's like, okay, well, I'm going to just do what they say. And a lot of people out here say, I will teach you everything you need to know. Just follow my lead. Just do what I say, and you'll be okay. And that can be the most dangerous thing for a business owner, to just do something that somebody said. And keep in mind, me and everybody else here, we're really are strangers to one another. How well do we really know each other for you to be trusting people? Just because you spent money with them, just because they look decent, just because they smooth, they got this, they got that, they make a lot of money, doesn't mean that they always have your best interest at heart. Doesn't mean that they really, really are in it for you. That doesn't mean that. All that means is that they just have a good way of marketing themselves to you. They're master marketers. I'm not. I'm just a guy who opens his mouth and says what he feels, what he feels. I guess you could say I'm quote unquote the Charles Barkley of the notary world, where I'm just going to say how I feel, even though everybody else is going to be like, they're going to try to smooth it over and make excuses. I'm like, nah, this is the way it is, in my opinion. And I'm willing to take flack if I'm wrong. The question is, are they? You see what I'm saying? So to have an active mind, you got to actually talk to people. You got to actually open your mouth and ask them, why are you saying this? Based on your experience, how did we get here? How did you figure this out? Educate me on this. That's what you need to do. Let me spaces in left in the next class. Well, I haven't even started the notary success system training yet. So there's plenty of spaces. I just gotta do all of that. Taking a step by time. So what we got here? I haven't set any of that up yet, Miss Mobile, All-Star Mobile Notary, but I am going to be doing that and everything. When do you collect the thumbprint? Depends on your state. That's when you collect the thumbprint. You got to talk to your state about that one, because We don't do thumbprints here. That might be in California, so you have to find out from your state when that is. Okay, there you go. That's a great scanner. Yeah. So it all depends on your state. Yeah, Grant Cardone, I like him. I like him. I've been following him for a minute. For a minute. Now see, that's questionable that when you say you are to provide a synopsis to the signer and know how to, okay, the last part is correct. The first part is questionable because not in every state, because see, in some states, notaries are not allowed to talk no to talk beyond the um the title of the document. So this is the thing. People keep saying this, and I know I'm getting a bunch of hate and thumbs down and all of that from these other trainers as well as their followers, and I get that. But let's be real. What does your state say? What does your state say? You're operating as a notary, no matter what. No matter what the deal is, you're operating there as a notary. So, as a notary that is notarizing documents, what is your requirement? What is your obligation? What is your limitations that you're supposed to do in that position? And explaining documents is not it. So, no matter how much you want to call yourself a notary signing agent, a loan signing agent, all of that, that is not our role according to our state because we're operating under the guidelines of our state, not the notary trainer. We're not there operating under the guidelines of a notary trainer. We're not there operating under the guidelines of any notarial association. We're there operating with respect to the people who commissioned us, which is in my case the state of Virginia and all the other 49 states wherever you're living at. So what does that state say that I'm allowed to do and not to do with regards to opening my mouth about the contents of a document? And people would say, well, yeah, you're right, Griff, but you're a notary. We got to make sure that the borrower has the right experience and that they know the right things and this, that, and the other. If I can get assurance from the signing company, the title company, the lender, that if I misspeak and I cause that deal not to happen because I'm a brand new notary and I have no clue about this because no one is training me to that degree. They're telling me to do a summary of a summary of a summary. But if the borrower starts asking more particular questions, all I can do is say what? Oh, I got to call it. And you see what I'm saying? And you could get yourself in a situation where they're like, why are you calling them? You're the one who told me, you gave me the summary. You said you're a loan signing agent. So I figured you would understand these loan documents. You said you're this, that, and the other. You get what I'm saying? So you got to think about all of this. You got to think about this. So when you say as a notary, you are to provide a synopsis to the signer, you got to find out, is that legal in your state? Because North Carolina notaries have been hitting me up and telling me, New York notaries, Georgia notaries, So you can't say that as a general thing. If you're going to say that statement, then you have to do the research to find out in what states that statement is applicable. In the story, I'm serious. You cannot just say that as well. We should do that now. Granted, a lot of people are like, well, I just want to do that. I just think that it's right for me to share and to guide and to tell them something about the documents. Okay, so what in the world has the title and escrow people been doing for the last 3 to 4 months? Nobody told them anything. No, they just had. I mean, you mean to tell me that nobody talked to these folk at all, and they're just leaving it all up to you? It's on you, Griff. Griff, it's on you. It's on you. You need to make sure they know what they're doing. You see what I'm saying? So correct. They do a disservice because here's the thing. Again, and look, I challenge anybody on this. Okay, let me put it to you this way. There are a lot of people out there that say simply this: don't take last minute signings. And that's what my training is going to do. My training is going to prepare you to do that. So why do they say don't take last minute signings? Because they said it's stressful. Okay, what is stressful about it? See, these are the questions that you got to ask yourself and them. What makes this stressful is what? And from what I've been told, based off of the questions I've asked, well, it's stressful because you're sitting there as a new notary and you really don't understand the documents. Ding, 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 ding. So one, you're telling me I don't understand the documents. So therefore, I can't go out here and do a last minute signing. Okay, so what's in place to help me to understand the documents so that if somebody calls me up at the last minute and say, I need you to do this closing, that I'm empowered to do that. Who's out there training me to be able to do that? Griff will be doing that now, but not training you how to understand the documents. Whole nother story. I ain't gonna give away too much of my secrets. But if you understand how to notarize the documents, then what is there to be stressed about if you know how to do your job as a notary? Because I've come across a lot of people who say, I know how to explain the documents, but they get hung up on notarizing them. And they get in trouble and blacklisted because when they send the documents back, the documents aren't notarized properly. So you said can't do last minute signings because there's a chance that it's just too stressful. Let's use common sense here. When something is stressful in your life, it is because you have a lack of knowledge in that area. It's stressful driving when you don't know how to drive. When you do know how to drive, it's less stressful. What makes it even more stressful sometimes is when you're unsure of what the other drivers are going to do. And you don't know how you're going to react to somebody speeding and this, that, and the other, or the road conditions and all of that. So you're good and you're cool when it's nice and dry, but you're not too cool when it's wet. But then let's just say you're good when it's wet, rainy, all of that. You can deal with any kind of weather condition and you're comfortable. So you can somebody call you up and say, hey, we need you to come do this, that, and the other. You can hop on the road and do that anywhere in your city. But then somebody says, hey, I need you to drive from Texas to Kansas, or Texas to Virginia, or Texas to Florida, or Texas to somewhere else. And you're not comfortable with long highway driving. You get what I'm saying? You got to get prepared. So who is preparing you for that? They're just preparing you to be able to explain the documents, but not necessarily preparing you to handle the last minute signing. That's what's missing. So these are the questions. So what makes it stressful when you don't know something? How do you get to know it so that you're no longer stressed? That's the question. What are you going to do? Who is teaching you? Who's educating you? Who is empowering you to have the ability to do a last minute signing? That's the key. You see what I'm saying? You're researching. I wish I could know what she's researching because I'd be running my mouth and then I'd be forgetting what I said. Okay, hold on one second. Griffin Notary. Gotcha. Not a problem. Hey, no problem at all, man. Not a problem at all. If you need a notary for anything else in the future outside of this, just give me a call. All right, now you can just put it under Griffin Notary Services, available to y'all 24 hours a day. All right, you're welcome. Bye. All right, I don't know if y'all heard his part or not, but yeah, basically I was supposed to do a loan application for them tomorrow at oh, my skin is dry on my leg. Okay, time to get some moisturizer on my legs. So that cold that winter time just dries my skin out. But yeah, he said he canceled the thing for tomorrow. So that's when I just told him, I said, okay, cancel. If you need a notary for anything else in the future, and notice what I said, outside of this outside of what we were going to meet for, feel free to call me, because you want to get them to think, okay, well, you want them to know that you're more than just the loan closing notary, but you can also do other notarial works and stuff. So that's key. So he got me. I don't know. And that, I'll be honest, that was the first time I ever did it. That was a spur of the moment thing. It was just something that just said, let him know you can be there for him for other things. I don't know why, but I did it, and y'all heard it here live, okay, and all of that. So California requires thumbprint, yeah, everything. And you're right, it's a very thin line. California, we also collect thumbprints. Yeah, you have to. And then it says Georgia, we cannot present long. That's what I'm saying. See, this here is the heartbreaking thing for me, is that there's so many people out there, and a lot of new signing company owners, and a lot of new notary trainers and mentors. They're making their money, and they're making their claim to fame off of teaching you the loan docs, because they got you up. They got people worked up thinking that if you don't know the loan document, if you don't understand the loan document, it's over. You're never going to be a good notary, because you're going to be in a closing and you don't know how to explain the documents and that. And I'm like, no. Hey, how you doing? I'm looking at my Snapple bot here. Snapple signing services, or Snapple title and escrow. All right, how do you want me to conduct the signing? Do you want me to explain these documents to the borrower outside of what the NNA has told me? Because see, the NNA gave me a script to use, and that's about as far as I can go. Or do you do realize that my state says, in this case, Georgia says I'm not allowed to explain the documents? See, why don't you find out from the source? Unless the trainer, a mentor, or whoever, signing company owner, starting from me on, unless we have definitive proof that these individuals want you to do ... we have to be very careful about telling you to do ... I did 120 different clients last year. There's no way I'm going to be well versed in the documents to the level and degree that I need to be for all 120 of them, because all 120 of them did their documents different. From loan applications to loan modifications, debt settlements, all the different types of refis that was only 100 pages, refis that was over 220 pages, all of that I dealt with. And you'll be dealing with that as you grow in this business. And to go and say you need to understand the loan documents for each and every single person, meaning you need to understand how to summarize and help that borrower to understand what they're doing and why they're doing it, because that's really what it gets into. And most people are like, no, that's going too far. Well, one leads into the other. You turn the knob, the door opens. I mean, you turn the knob, but here's what it is that you're signing. And people say, well, what's so wrong about that? Well, what does the state say? The people who you took an oath to. That's the thing. They the ones who gave you the commission. So I know people get tired of me talking about this, and I don't know what other way I can lay this out. So what I'm saying is, it doesn't matter whether you know the aspect of the loan title you should provide. Okay, again, you're saying you should provide a brief synopsis. Okay, see, when you say that word, you should, how do you tell that to a person in Georgia or a person in North Carolina or a state in which they're not? You get what I'm saying? You have to change that. To me, you have to change that statement and say, in accordance with your state guidelines, you need to explain the documents to the degree in which your state allows. Because when you say you should, people can take that as you're being definitive in effect. Same thing when I say you should or you shouldn't or whatever. So you know how to properly notarize. To be honest, it should be flipped. It should start off, you should know how to properly notarize, because that's what you're there for. Your main reason for being there is not for the brief synopsis, 1 or 2 sentences of the documents. It's to notarize. Because again, what happens when the person in front of you don't want to hear what you got to say because they've already went over the documents, they read them, today when you do a reverse mortgage, they've already gone over those documents with their reverse mortgage counselor 2 to 3 times in some cases, not all, but at least once and up to 3 times that I've heard. And then what do you do when you have a reverse mortgage loan counselor in the building, in the office with them? You get what I'm saying? In the office with them, or in the closing with them. Now the only thing you need to be focused on is really your last half of the sentence, which should be your first part, which is properly notarize the documents. Because what you're saying here is the order in which everybody says you're supposed to do your job as a notary. Know the documents and then learn how to notarize. But you got to know how to notarize first, because you could be in a situation where there's nothing for you to say. Ask Georgia notaries. They got to have an attorney. So your first priority is always to know how to notarize. That's number one. Once you got that, and if you've been listening to me long enough, that's what I've said over and over again. Once you understand how to notarize, then everything else is fine. Okay. So follow state law regardless of the signing company. Correct. I'm in New York and I literally give the title of the document, ask them to read and show. Right. And again, I never said you can't give the title of the document. I didn't say that, because some areas that's all you can do. And I say, this is your borrower's consent to use tax return. This is your request for tax transcripts. I tell them the title of the document. But see, one of the things is, and I've said this, and nobody wants to admit this is the issue for some people, and it can be for me. Although I'm very articulate right now in this space, sometimes when I get a little nervous under pressure, and I get tongue tied, even if I do have a script and I'm trying to read the script, unless I got the script memorized. But that's a lot of scripts to memorize just to do my job as a notary. To memorize 20, 30 different scripts. And then it can look unprofessional. I'll be honest with you, it can look unprofessional sometimes when you pull out a book. Okay, that document, here's a summary of that document. The borrower's consent to use tax return. Dot, 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 dot. It can sound robotic, and it can extend the signing out longer. So if, and notaries have told me that, yeah, I'm in here for an hour, hour and a half, hour. Okay, maybe. Yeah. Hour and a half, 2 hours. What are you doing? Well, I'm making sure I explain the, okay, well, that might be the problem. And again, a lot of those same notaries didn't tell me, oh, you know what? I messed up on this notarization. I forgot 3 signatures. I didn't stamp. I didn't date. I didn't get initials. So all of the stuff that you're there to do, you didn't get done. So now that the company, the signing company, they get the documents back. They don't know what you said or didn't say about the documents. All they know is what you didn't get done on the documents. So you tell me which one is going to hem you up and cause you to get blacklisted more. Okay. So it goes on to says, that's in Tennessee. My favorite, that's the blessing. We got that's right. I agree, present the documents, give them the title of the documents. Because it's their documents. And they should know. And more people are being given the opportunity to review the documents ahead of time, because they want to know what they're signing. And a lot of people actually understand that the notary is not the person who they need to question or ask the questions of about the documents. They told me that. I get there. They said, well, I said, and I asked them, I said, do you have any questions? Well, we know you're the notary. This is not your role, because you don't work for them, right? Or do you? No, I don't work for them. I'm independent. That's what I thought. So no, we're going to call Bill or Sarah or Kylie or Keisha or whoever, Philip. We'll talk to them and ask them any questions that we have, because we got a good relationship with the loan officer. All right, cool. Okay, yeah, thumbnails. Yeah, I mean thumbprints and stuff. And again, I know there's going to be people there that's fuming at me. There's signing company owners that'll probably never give me another order because they think that. Okay, hold on one sec. Hey, I'm doing a live right now. Okay, I'll call you back. Did you figure out the shipping thing? Oh, okay. I'll call you back. All right. Yeah, that's my buddy out there in California. You know, so yeah, I mean, I'm not saying, look, I know how to present the documents, and it took me some time to figure out. I never used the script. I never purchased and bought anything. And it's a trip because here we're supposed to be colleagues. And if you really want to help me out that much, why do you got to sell scripts to me? Just give them to me, daggone it. And why are you selling me scripts that came from the NNA in the first place? So they tell you don't get with the NNA, don't buy the NNA, don't take the NNA signing agent training course or none of that stuff, just so they can sell you material that they got from the NNA. That's what's happening a lot of times. And when I figured that out, I said, I ain't buying nothing from none of them suckers. Okay. I ain't doing that. So the best way I did it, I would get I only have, that's right, I already shipped the documents off. I would get the documents and read it. Okay. Case in point, what I have right here, all you got to do, is read. This here is the U.S. Patriot Act. Okay. You read the Patriot Act, you'll figure out what it means, and you can figure out how to summarize this. To help the government fight the funding of terrorism and money laundering, the federal law requires all financial institutions to obtain, verify, and record information that identifies every customer. When applying for a loan, applicants will be asked their name, address, date of birth, and other information that will allow lenders to identify them. Applicants may also be asked to show their driver's license or other identifying documents. The following customer information must be obtained to be in compliance with the U.S. Patriot Act. This information must be retained for 5 years after the account is closed. Now, you read that. You can figure out how to summarize that if need be. It's it's 3 sentences. So you mean to tell me that a grown human being who's sitting across from you that's that this is, well, they're not going to see that. That's right. They're not going to see this. But any other doc, you can read this and say, what's the purpose of this here? And you can actually hand them this and say, well, feel free to read so that they can get the right understanding. Because I can say, well, the financial institutions, they want to verify that you are who you say you are. What do you mean they want to find? I mean, what for? Why? Because of funding of terrorism. What do you mean funding of terrorism? This is what I've dealt with. What do you mean funding terrorism? I ain't no terrorist, sir. They're not accusing you, sir. Read. Here you go. Here you go. Please read. Oh, okay, gotcha. No, you don't have to fill that out. I fill that out. Oh, okay, got it. When you summarize something, it should be to the point where when that person hears what you're saying, they understand what it is. And if they don't, oh, I thought that was thunder. That's somebody pulling in their trash can. So I haven't heard of that one. So you can ask them, do they understand the documents? All of that. Right, in Georgia, right. And again, you can say, I mean, bottom line is, long as you get the documents notarized, that's what matters to me. Because I'm not sitting in there. I don't know what you're doing, and you're a grown person, and you're going to do what you want to do. And again, people have told me that they personally feel, it's like, well, I'm a professional. This is just the way I am. I feel that you should be doing this, and I should do this way and that. And here's the problem. Here's the issue that I have is that a lot of these people say those statements, but none of them has ever said to me, I'm going to make sure that the documents are notarized properly. That's the concern. They're talking about everything that they can do to make it, and it's all centered around, and it makes you look like you know what you're doing. It makes you look good. It makes you look educated. It makes you look competent until you send the documents back not notarized. And then when you come back to them after you've explained everything, now you got to explain why you had to come back because you forgot their stamp, you forgot their signature, you forgot a date, you forgot to have them notarize something. Initial something. But you explained the documents very well. And y'all know I'm telling the truth because you know what's in those Facebook groups. So no matter how you try to spin this, you look in your Facebook groups after we get off of this here, looking at it right now, you like, guarantee you'll find about five to 15 questions within the last 24 to 48 hours from people asking about how to notarize the documents. How often do you hear people asking questions about how to explain the document? You see what I'm saying? And I'm not saying it is nothing. Right. Here's a CD. This here's your closing disclosure. Here's your interest rate. Here. All I do is point to here's your interest, that. But here's what people teach y'all and have taught me. Flip that first page of the CD over and start breaking down the individual line items. Go into the individual line items of the alter statement and showing people where their interest, showing them they should already know their interest rate, but I mean, not the interest rate. They should know the interest rate, but showing them that taxes and insurance. Well, here's 3 months of this, that, and the other. They start, I'm like, why am I got to go into all of that? That should already be dealt with ahead of time. You get what I'm saying? You do look, it's somebody, if there's a brand new person who's never even done this, I actually encourage them to read the documents because it's important. These are yours. It's very important for you. What would you do what would you do as a consumer? You get a set of documents, they want your signature on that you are agreeing to. You're agreeing to terms and conditions. So you're telling me you as a consumer are going to leave it up to this stranger that you don't even know named Griff to tell you what you need to do on here. You ain't talked to Griff. You've been working on this loan closing on these documents with the loan officer entitled for 4 months. You ain't never heard of Griff. You ain't never seen him. And now you're depending on Griff to come in and tell you everything you need to know. And you're going to put your full, complete trust in Griff that he's telling you exactly right. Knowing that, especially since Griff doesn't know any of the conversation that you had with your loan officer prior to meeting Griff, but I'm going to tell you stuff about the documents. I'm going to tell you things that's the nerve-wracking part for me. And I've had that happen where in the beginning I would say something about the documents. I would say this, that, and the other. And they're like, that ain't what the loan officer told me. I'm like, what do you mean? Well, we had this discussion and that and I'm like, oh, y'all had a discussion. Yeah. And we talked about this and I told them and I'm like, and now you're saying something totally different. Ooh, dude or lady done got spun up because I don't know what the inside story is, what's going on. All of a sudden, I'm telling them I'm reading the CD and I'm breaking stuff down, and they're like, whoa, 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 whoa. Why is there taxes on here? What do you mean tax? You're supposed to pay tax. No, I ain't. Okay, I didn't know. Or you didn't know that I was a vet and I'm disabled 100%. Didn't know. I didn't know. Or there's an agreement in there for such and such. What do you mean I got a disagreement? Like the guy today, he told me, he was like, I ain't doing the closing. He said, don't come over my house tomorrow at 5. I'm like, what do you mean? He said, because I ain't supposed to be paying no closing costs. And they're telling me I'm supposed to be paying closing costs. So now, had he not told me that and I showed up and then I sit there and you're like, why am I paying? You get what I'm saying? I'm not privy to a lot of stuff. So I'm trying to make sure that I'm not causing stress to the people and all of that. Everything. So, all right, look, I done got on that long enough. And I mean, what's going on, Matthew? What's going on? What's going on? And again, to all of y'all out there, notary trainers, y'all know what I'm saying. I want to say it's 100% correct. Maybe I will say it's somewhat correct, depending on the state that you're in. You don't want people focused on doing the wrong thing starting off. Once you get well versed in these documents and you build a relationship with these companies, I've had companies straight up tell me, don't explain the documents. Don't. I'll prove that to y'all real quick. Like, I'll prove that to you. I'll prove that to you. Let me shut this down. Got to shut all of that down. Let me open this up. Um, where is it? Let me pull something up for y'all. And I've shown y'all this before. Um, okay. I've shown y'all this. Let me share screen. All right. Right here. It says here, I acknowledge that the identifications as stated above was provided to me at the time the borrower and or co-borrower executed the documents for the real estate transaction. I have not provided the borrower or co-borrower with advice, counsel, or an opinion concerning the contents of the documents executed. Now, somebody said earlier a thin line. That's my concern. There are people who are teaching, and not just with the explaining of the documents, but other things within the notary world. They're teaching you stuff and sharing with you to do things that's pushing us right to the edge of unauthorized practice of law, and then saying, go to the edge and then pull back. Get a little bit closer, pull back. Get real close and pull back. I mean, that's what we have to be mindful of. It's like, okay, I'm walking on a very thin line of getting close to doing that. Why do I need to put myself in that position? Because my commission is the one that gets taken away. And I don't know what kind of punishment happens to any of the people who told me to do it. What's going to happen to any of these notary trainers who told? Can I say in a court of law, well, so and so said to do this, but what does your state law says? So this is where I'm coming in on this at, y'all. You know what I'm saying? This is where I'm at. So da, 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 da. The primers, all of that. So again, I'm not trying to come down on anybody or make anybody feel bad, but the bottom line is this: it is up to each one of us to make sure that any information that somebody says, we question it, we challenge it if need be, we make them verify why they're saying it, we make them prove why they're saying it. And that's what I do with the statements that I say. And if what I said isn't good enough or isn't clear enough, then you have every right, in my opinion, to question me even more. That's why I'm constantly putting the link in there for people to hop on and ask me, because you typing, I may not understand the context of what you're saying, and I might get it wrong. And I'm willing to admit that. So I don't want you to be upset with me because I misspoke or I gave an answer and I didn't clearly understand. That's why that's why I talk to people. I actually audibly talk to people because I want to understand, and so I can clearly hear. And then sometimes when we all audibly say what we're thinking and feel or the question, it can make us think, wait a minute, you know what, I understand now. Oh, okay, I got it. But just typing, sometimes we just mindlessly type. Oh, ooh, that scared me. Mm, that scared me. I don't know why that scared me. I'm all focused over here. So my thing is this: we have to. I try to have receipts, because see, even with that statement there where it says I have not provided the borrower with advice, counsel, or an opinion concerning the content of the documents. Now the question becomes, and again, a statement opens up the door for a question. The problem is the statement that people read or are told or heard or however you want to put it, you never open it, you never allow, you're not allowing it to garner a question. So to me, the question would be to that company, what do y'all consider advice, counsel, or an opinion concerning the contents of the documents? I know what I might think it is, but what do you think it is? So we can make sure that we're on the same page. What's wrong with asking that question? What's wrong with it to some people is this. This is not what's wrong with it, but to some people, what's wrong with it is I don't want to seem like I don't know. I don't want to seem uneducated. Okay, granted. So what are you going to do to get educated, and where are you going to go to get the proper education? Who's going to provide you the proper education in what you say you're not educated in, so you can so you'll be justified in not asking the question because you're educated in it. You know what they mean. How do you understand what this company means when they put that statement on that document if you have not talked to them? Well, you can't run to Facebook because has Facebook asked them the question? Has Clubhouse, has anybody asked them that question? The answer is either yes or no. Yes or no. That's what it is. And yeah, my seven, they don't push the time back on my other appointment. So that's why I'm talking to y'all a little bit longer. I ain't forgot about my other appointment, but I've seen the notification here. Buddy changed the time. I'm trying to do this thing with him. All right. So, so you think about how you want to roll at some point, and you have to unplug. Yeah. And again, I encourage y'all look at the videos that I got about mentorship, because that mentor thing, what are they really mentoring you in? And I know TDP Notary probably like, okay, Griff, I ain't trying to tell anything you say, because these are questions that I've already posed out there and put them out there. See, this is why I do a lot of these videos, because I wanted to be on record of what my opinion is and what I'm thinking about with regards to this stuff. When I hear people talking about they're paying $200 or $300 for somebody to be their mentor, and the only thing their mentor is doing is telling them how not to take orders and how to act like them and be like them, and unfortunately, that person and the mentor are not in the same state, and the state that the mentor in operates different from the state that the mentee is in, that is not mentorship. That ain't nowhere near mentorship. How in the world can that be mentorship? Okay, I'm just thinking about something. How in the world can that be mentorship? Especially when you get in there and it's like, okay, we're gonna do a one-on-one, and you think it's a one-on-one, and that one-on-one is a 1-on-15. So what is really mentorship? See, this is where you have to define again the statement, I can be your mentor, should garner a question. What are you going to provide me, Mr. or Miss Mentor? What can you really do for me? How long have you been doing this? I mean, there's just too many daggone people who are barely wrote thawed out biscuit to even begin to rise. You know how you take the biscuit and you out the refrigerator, the dough, and then you let it get room temperature, and then it rise, and then people ain't even started right. I mean, some of these folks, they're just out here, and they're just out here making money off of other folk who are unwilling to do what they need to do. I just want an answer. Just tell me what I need to know. I can't sing, but that's what people do. Is just tell me what I need to know. And then they're like, okay, you need to know this. And then you're like, okay, I'm gonna go. Okay, thank you. And it don't work a lot of time. Yes, I am. I'm trying to protect y'all because, okay, I'll put it to you this way. Let me come directly to you. I'm gonna put it to you this way. If you are sure that the person who opened their mouth and told you some advice is going to stand by that advice when you get in trouble and you get in court and you about to lose your commission with your state, then listen to them. But you won't know that unless you get them on record saying that. Now, how you get them on record saying that, that's between you and them. But if you are sure and confident that the advice that that person is giving you, that that person is willing to stand by that advice and take the heat for what they told you when it's proven that what they told you is wrong, and willing to take any kind of necessary punishment with regards to giving you the improper advice, then listen all day long. Execute it, do it. In the story on my part. It's one thing to open your mouth and share advice. It's another thing whether you're going to stand by it when you get questioned. Because if the person going to say, well, they're grown, I mean, look, they should have did their due diligence. The moment you hear them say they should have did that, they should have did that. Oh Lord, he about to throw me under the bus. The moment you hear they should have did, the moment you hear that, they should have did, they should have done, they're going to be saying your due diligence, meaning it's up to you to verify whether or not the information I'm sharing with you is accurate and correct in accordance with your state law. And you're like, whoa. This is the first time you ever said anything about state laws. Hold up. You told me just do what you do. I did what you did, and now I'm in lockup. Hey, you didn't have to listen to me. I'm sorry, Tracy. Tracy G. You didn't have to listen to me. I mean, you're grown up. You should know you got to look and research stuff yourself before you just go listening to some random person out here on social media. Come on now. That's what they do. And it's like, daggone, it's like, okay, you gonna do me like that? No, you can't. You can't notarize that document. That document, let me nah, you can't notarize that. You can't notarize that. No, you can't notarize this one because they're not signing it. You cannot stamp that. And I've talked about that in my training before. You cannot stamp that. They want your notary seal on this document because they want to verify that your seal is valid. And I'm like, okay, here I am. You giving me, let's just say you're giving me my very first closing, and now you want me to stamp this document to prove that my stamp is valid. However, I'm going to be stamping about 8 to 13 other pages in there before you ever get this one back. How is that going to prove to you that my stuff is valid? No, we can't notarize this because they're not signing it. The person is not signing it whatsoever and everything. And you're right. You do need to get a mentor in your state. Now, I would say that would be the first option. If you're going to have a mentor that's outside of your state, then that's where you really got to grill them and say, okay, what is it that you're going to be helping me in? But if you understand mentorship is about the mentor helping the mentee toward the mentee's goal. What is the goal that the mentee has? That's the question. What is the goal that the mentee has? If the mentee doesn't have the right goal, then it's over. I mean, because if the mentor is all about just do what I say, okay, but you got to have a goal. That's what the mentee is. Mentorship in notary is no different than mentorship in your W-2. Mentorship as a notary is no different than mentorship in a W-2. It is to help you get to a point where you want to be at. It's to help you grow to a level where you want to grow. It's to help you get to a level. All of that. Okay? That's what being a mentor is about, helping the person get to their goals, get to define who they are, to define what they're trying to go, and help them and encourage them through a clear path with that. And that takes time, energy, and effort. How many of these notary trainers and so-called mentors are willing to put in that kind of time, energy, and effort into you? That's the question. Because some of you have issues and you need a lot more care and concern than a 10-minute video or a little pep talk or a few little half quotes of a motivational speech that somebody heard. You get what I'm saying? He says, I feel like that. Yeah, if you understand your state laws, all of that, because that's what we're supposed to do in the first place. And you're right, not all of them are shady, but it is up to the mentee to ask the right questions. And again, when you say, okay, not all mentors are shady, you would have to define what shady would be for you. So, what do you consider shady? And then you have to say, okay, now my questions that I ask are going to be to determine the shadiness of that person. So, for everybody, shady is different. It's like, okay, again, again, and I love the question, TDP. I love it. I love it. You're right on point with everything you're asking. I'm serious. You are right on point. What is the criteria for a mentor anyway? What should be the criteria for a mentor? How many closings should they have? How much experience should they have? What is the criteria? Because you got to qualify that mentor. What is the qualifications? Now, there are people, there's training courses on how to be a mentor. None of these folk, including myself, I haven't done a course on being a mentor. Somebody's been in this business less than a year. How many courses have they taken on mentorship? What makes them a mentor? Were they even a mentor in their W-2? If you wasn't a mentor in your W-2 that you've been in for 10, 15 years, what qualifies you to be a mentor over here? What I did, I had a stable job for 10 years. Okay, how many people did you mentor? Well, I ain't really mentor anybody. It was just me by myself. Okay, so you by yourself. So you were the front desk receptionist for 10 years. You didn't train anybody. And now you're a mentor in notary that you in a field that you never worked in before. That's the common sense approach to me that I look at. So my question is, okay, if you can have bad mentors in your W-2, what makes you think you can't have bad mentors here? And what would qualify as a bad mentor? And does a mentee know what the right questions to ask? Oh yeah, if y'all ain't hit the like button, yeah, y'all forgot all about that. Boom, yeah. And it's a trip somebody got on me and fussing at me because they didn't like me having it scrolling across the bottom and all of that. So, totally agree. Happy Monday, speak the truth. So, thank you for agreeing, and feel free to disagree. I don't have a problem with that. Do you feel you need a mentor in your field, or should they be? Um, I'll put it to you this way. Let me come to you. Let me do it this way. And excellent question. If the person who's claiming that they can be a mentor to you has been in the business less than me, and I've been in it going on 4 years this upcoming June to be 4 years. I started in 2018, then 19, 20, 21. So June of 2022, April when I got commissioned. So April will be 4 years that I've been a notary. And that means I got to renew my notary commission this year. If they've been in there half the time that I've been in, even a year less than I have been in, do you really need them to mentor you? Because if they could get to the point where they can mentor people, can't you? Can't you do it on your own? And a lot of them will say, I did this on, this is what I learned. I just put my head down and learned dot. So if they could in 6 months to a year, 2 years, get to a point of mentorship, mentoring people, why couldn't you? Why can't you? What's wrong with you that you can't do it? That's why when people ask me to be their mentor, I tell them my mentorship starts with my videos. Look at the videos. Well, I want to be mentored. No, you don't really want to be mentored by me because I ain't playing. I don't do scared. I'm going to get on you. You're going to take orders. You're going to, not my orders, meaning you're going to go out there. You're going to do a $60 order. You're going to do an $80 order. You're going to do a loans modification, a debt settlement. If you want me to mentor, you're going to do these things because you need to get experience. so you can figure out where you want to go in this business. You wouldn't be, see, as much as people say they don't like loan modifications, there are people that I know that have contacted me and said they love them. They love them because here's the thing: their work schedule is such that they're working a regular W-2, and they get 7 loan modifications. And my blinking is something got in my eye. They do 7 they get 7 loan modifications, and guess what? Most loan modifications, you have 7 days to set them up. And there's people who say, well, I got the loan modification, I got 7 of them to do, and I can do them all on Saturday because my work schedule, Monday through Friday, I really don't have time to do loan closings and stuff like that. But they can do the loan modifications and knock out 7 of them on a Saturday at $30 a pop. That's $120, I think. Yeah, $120. So they're like, okay, cool. Yeah, I done made me some money. So that's the thing. Let me make sure. Oh, I'm sorry, 210. I don't know why I said $210. Did I do that right? That's $210 because sometimes the loan modifications at the low end I've seen is $30. I mean, loan mod, $30. If the loan mod is $50 a pop, you're talking about $350. You tell me in what world would you turn down $350? If you saw $350 laying in the street of traffic, you're gonna sit there and time the traffic. You're gonna be zoom, zoom, 1001, 1002, and you're gonna run out there and grab that money. So here you can go get $350 without running the risk of getting hit by a car. Common sense approach, people. Common sense approach. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, the Jodeci. Yeah, yeah. I like that one song they sing. I be messing it up. I'll be like, I'm the man who fills your wishes, cook, clean, and do the dishes every day. I love that song. I be playing around and stuff, be singing that to my wife. But yeah. So now that song I got in my head. Checking in and talk about. Now I haven't talked about training. I'm gonna be dealing with that shortly. I've been working on that because I got to get the loan documents together. I got to modify some loan documents and take out personal information and stuff from some old stuff some documents I was able to get my hands on and everything, so that I can use them for the training and everything and stuff. Oh, that was Drew Hill, the one I was just doing. Okay, I thought that was Jodeci. Okay, my bad. Yeah, come on, party people, get them likes up. This is, yeah, I told y'all how YouTube is. If you don't like it, they won't even they do their thing. So in a nutshell, it's our job to get the signatures. I mean, as long as you do that, and I've said that, if you do that, I don't care what else you do. You can sit up there, sing and dance, you can sit up there and rap what the documents are. I just know this. When you send that document back, it best have every signature, every date, every notarization, every stamp, like, because that's what they sent it to you to do. They sent it to you to get that done. And as long as you do that, you good in my book. You good. You good. So I've seen that the document both ways, with and without the signer's name. Yeah, you can have documents without signer's name on it. There's signature lines. I did videos about that. Showed y'all documents on my brief. If you look at my video, brief overview of understanding acknowledgments, I point out there's a document that doesn't have the signer's name on it, but you can, if you glance at it, you skim over, you can tell they need to sign. If it has a notarial acknowledgement on there, they need to sign. And that's been weird. I've been getting a lot of questions lately about people asking me about the notarial acknowledgments, that they don't understand what they're supposed to be doing, about where to sign and all of that. And hold on, let me pull something up. Hold up. Um type for nothing. All right, so I'm pushing this computer to the limit. That bad boy moving slow now. It's like, all right, all right. But my lighting was off on that one. I know, computer. I'm pushing you. I'm pushing you. I'm pushing you. Let me close some of these windows down. Let me close that out. All right. Well, you still trying to push. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. So this doc, so whoops, I keep and let me take that down. So this here video, free loan doc overview 2. Where do they sign? Where do I sign? I'm doing videos. I'm putting them out there for you. Go to my Notary Basic playlist. I have a playlist called Notary Basic playlist. It shows you it shows you these videos right there. Where do I need to sign? Where do they need to sign? What documents need to be notarized? And I get concerned when notaries start asking me that question. If you don't understand what you need to what documents need to be notarized, that's a concern. All documents that are affidavits need to be notarized. Affidavits are a sworn statement where you swear them in, and then they sign it, and then you notarize that document. Well, sometimes, yes, you can have an affidavit and they didn't put the notarial acknowledgement statement, then you add a jurat to it. The deed and the mortgage always gets notarized. I go over that clearly, and if you look at these videos, it's 3 videos that all y'all got to do. If you look at the 3 videos, these 3 videos, where is it? There's 3 videos that if everybody was to just take time out and look at it, I'm telling you, you will be so solid in what you need to do. A lot of this mentorship stuff you wouldn't really need unless you're trying to get somebody to help you with the business side of it. Let me see if I can. All right, let me hit this here. All right. So this is my Notary Basics playlist. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this link in there, and that's the link to this here playlist. So I got this first. A lot of people don't like this first one because I'm sort of semi going off, but there's a lot of people that come in this business trying to think of it as a side hustle, and I'm just being straightforward with y'all about that. Probably need to redo it to update some stuff that's in there with the NNA. But this here video, brief overview of understanding acknowledgments. You need to look at that. Free loan doc overview, no need to pay $150. You need to look at that. Free loan doc overview part 2. Where do they sign? Where do I sign? I'm telling you right now, there's nobody who really has done a video about this here, this third one. Nobody's going out there and do a video about this. Some people have done loan doc overviews and they started doing them after I did this one. This particular one in and of itself has over 60,000 views on it. So that tells you a lot of people like it. And then you got the brief overview of understanding acknowledgement. It helps you. It just breaks it down to the bare bones minimum for you to understand. So the question is, are you going to look at the videos? If you are, it's going to help you out. If you're not, if you just want somebody to tell you what to do, then all right, then There's people out there that will tell you what to do, and they will going to make you pay them to tell you what to do. People are trying to turn a loan sign. Correct, correct. And you have people out there. Yeah, and that's cool, and there's nothing wrong with that. But most people aren't doing that. TDP. Most people are not interviewing anybody. They're saying, "Tell me who's that." Oh, I thought I saw somebody. They right. Not a problem. Not a problem at all. Not a problem at all. The question would be is how big is she on YouTube? Is she out there on YouTube like that? Or is she just local with you? Because I'm talking about the YouTube ones. All right. So let me clarify that. I'm talking about the YouTube ones. Zing. You're welcome. You're welcome, Miss Lou. Yep. No one is kind of shady. I like that. I like that. I like that. I like that. No one is kind of shady. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I got a playlist out there about that, about mentorship. You know, the information is out there. I mean, hands down, the information is out there. Um, Hold on. Yeah. Oh, I put this in here too. That was not supposed to be in here. I put the wrong video in there. Um, I must have been tired. I don't know how. Man, I got all kind of videos in the wrong spot. Hold up, let me take that out. All right, let me take that out. This video here is how to find my playlist. Print versus I don't know where. I don't know why I got that up in here. So mindset. I don't know what the heck I was doing, y'all. I tell you, I be doing stuff in the middle of the night. I be tired and everything. So there's another video. So I got mentorship part 2. So I got to find the part 1. I'll find that one and I got to stick that in there. But yeah, so if y'all, like I tell people all the time, Griffin Notary Mentor. All right, there's something about mentor program. Here it is. Yeah, I don't know why that one is not. All right. Yeah. So this one, yeah. So this one here, my first one, I did 11. And look, it's only any hardly got any view. To me, that's not a lot of views. 1,000 views on it, 1,500 views basically. And everybody's talking about they want a mentor, but only 1,600 people looked at it. And then you wondering why people are being taken advantage of with regards to mentorship. Hope I ain't supposed to be on Clubhouse tonight doing something. Okay, that's okay. Whew. Yeah, because I'm supposed to be doing something with somebody on Clubhouse and all of that. All right. So yeah. Okay. So all right. So Okay, what question you got on fingerprint? I can't tell you anything about fingerprints. I mean, unless somebody knows something about the fingerprints, I don't know nothing about the fingerprints because we don't do them here in Virginia. So the first question is, what state you're in, and does your state require fingerprints? That's the question. That is really the question. What state you're in, and um, what state you're in. I mean, I don't. Again, when I talk about business to business communication, so like keep in mind, not everything that you have an idea for a question about um is relevant everywhere. So you need to define, you need to say where your state is at, what state you're in, and whether something that you're asking about is a requirement, if you know whether or not it is. So the question is, Enrique, did you look to see if that's a requirement in your state? Um, right. See, you're just saying, do signings require fingerprints? And so you want to know, what is it? Okay, you want to know, do signings require fingerprints? What part of signings? You gotta be more clear on that. Are you talking about during the signing? What you got to define that? Okay, you got to define that. Thank you very much, Miss Brown. Yeah, there's people that do loan mods all day long. What we got here? TDP. Um, Loan mods can come from anybody, to be honest, nowadays. You got coast to coast. You got global agents. I mean, you got some of everybody. Oh, okay. Thank you very much, Miss Darkroom 007, for the super chat. I appreciate it. I really do. I appreciate it. I appreciate it immensely, immensely. I really do appreciate it. Yep. Yep. This thing, and just look, the talk look, over the Friday, I think it was Thursday, Friday, to do stuff right and to protect what you're doing costs money. So I spent 2,600 on my copyright for the Notary Success System. Yeah, it ain't cheap. That's why, and then the attorney and all the other stuff I'm dealing with. Yeah, so I'm trying to make sure, because it's some thieving folk out there. It's some thieving folk across the board. So I'm making sure my stuff is done straight. You know what I'm saying? I'm making sure my stuff is straight the way it needs to be. And when you're training us in your classes, well, that's simple. You stick to the bare basics. See, that's the problem. It's There's money in teaching you how to present loan docs because it makes you think you're smart. You're like, what do you mean make you think I'm smart? I ain't trying to say you're dumb. I'm just saying that's where the money is. What most notary trainers will say, I don't teach notarizations because I don't want to get into your state law. But there's some very simple basics of notarizations that everybody should know. Watch the brief overview of understanding acknowledgments, and I guarantee you'll be able to see, hey, nobody told me to take that video down because it's leading people wrong. Because I covered the bare bone basics of what you need to know. So as far as your particular state laws, no, I don't necessarily do that. I mean, you can figure that out for yourself. But there's some standard things like the venue. There's so many notaries who contact me about, do I change the venue? And I'm like, how are you a notary and you don't understand that you're supposed to change the venue? That's Notary 101. That you're supposed to change the venue to the place where you're notarizing at. And notaries are like, I don't know what to do. It says Georgia, Athens. I'm in Syracuse, New York. So what do I do with that? I don't know. Look at my video on understanding acknowledgments. I talk about that in there. I talk about that in there clearly. Your state handbook. That's it. Your state handbook. And most books you get from the NNA or the other group on the American Association of Notaries, that's it. I mean, it's not like a whole plethora of books out there that go over state laws and all of that. Small Business Association offer free mentor programs. And what they're going to teach you is how to run your business. They're not going to teach you the notarial part. And see, again, define what you want as a mentor. And that's all these people, what you're doing when you're buying some of these courses is paying for mentorship on how to run your business, not necessarily how to be a notary. Because if they come out their mouth and say, I'm not teaching you how to be a notary, then that means they're not mentoring you in that aspect. I'm going to teach you how to make $10,000 a month, $20,000 a month. My question is, how can you make $20,000 a month if you don't know how to properly notarize a document? There's nobody out there who's making even $5,000 a month as a notary and they don't know how to notarize, and they're constantly jacking the documents up. There ain't no way, because they wouldn't be in business very long. So I'm going to teach you how to market and do this, that, and the other, but yet at the same time, I'm not going to teach you how to do the business. Again, as I always say, it doesn't make sense. And you said she's not on YouTube. I'm going to tell you some of the best outside of me. I mean, outside of me, trainers you're going to probably find that's not even on YouTube, because they're not influenced by that. They're not worried about views. They're not worried about likes. They're not worried about any of that stuff. Okay. What we got? Signing up for companies. Okay. Don't use your social. Get an EIN. Get an EIN. I mean, there's a video me and my accountant we did talking about LLCs and the benefits of them and all of that. And again, Shelly, the question would be, where are you at? If you're in California, I understand, because California, the first year of you starting a business is very affordable, and then after that, it's $800 a year, which means you need to be out there doing some work. You need to be doing some closing. It all depends on how deep you plan on getting in this business. If you plan on really, really getting deep in the business, then yeah, you're going to need to have the protection of an LLC, of what it provides and all of that. My accountant talks about that. Look in my business interviews. I think it's business interviews. There's videos in there of me and my accountant talking, all of that good stuff. Right. I know you was talking about that one. That one, do you need to notarize that one? No, you do not. Don't notarize that document. That's the one. I knew you was talking about that one. All right. Enrique, you in Illinois, you got to find out Illinois laws about fingerprinting and everything. You got to find out, what do they want you to do with regards to fingerprinting. The only time I know of fingerprinting is in the notarial logbook. And if they want that, that's when you do it. That's it. Right. You said history. I see, I'm not in Illinois, so that's a question that I can't answer. Something like that, you shouldn't, in my opinion, and I'm not trying to be funny with, and I say this, stuff like that is not a question that you should just go out here and ask the general public who are not in your state. That is a question you should immediately go and ask your state. Why would you? Because, I mean, think about it. Why would you ask somebody who's in Virginia? That's part of the reason why I have under here VA, and now I got to put 4 years, because people are like, what state you in? I'm in Virginia. So I got to put Virginia. If I don't put Virginia, then everybody's asking me what state I'm in. And if I don't, now I got to tell people how many years I've been doing the business. I mean, I don't know, and I keep getting these questions. So to eliminate that, that's why I have that on my profile. Virginia, 4 years. Okay. So I'm in Virginia. That is not a question to ask me in Virginia about what you need to do in Illinois. And again, when y'all ask questions, y'all really do need to say what state you're in, because people who don't care will answer your question based off of where they're at, and will tell you yes. It will just tell you, yeah, you need to have that. You need to do that, or no, you don't. And because all they know is where they're at, and they don't know anything about where you're at. So you always need to provide who you know, where you're at, so people will know and everything. Um, I don't think I'm going to be on Clubhouse tonight. If I am, somebody better remind me. I don't. Am I? I know I am supposed to be on Clubhouse to do something, and I hope I. Let me look and see, because I'm supposed to be on there with Nakia and them. All right, learn fingerprint. Okay, nah, they doing something right now on fingerprinting. Yeah, because I think I'm supposed to be on there with Nakia and Lori. Um, and if I was supposed to be up there tonight, she most definitely would have hit me up and told me to get my butt over there and all of that. So let me where. Okay, come on. Okay, nope, nope, nope. March 1st. March 1st. Yeah, yeah. Yep, I'm looking at it now. March 1st. Yep. So yeah, it'd be March 1st. So next week. Next week. And then would you talking about the notary success system? The notary success system um is going to be designed to help notaries handle themselves inside of a closing. I'm not teaching marketing, any of that. There's enough courses out there. I'm not teaching Google business pages, not teaching Canva, any of that. The notary success system is simply this: helping you to develop a system of success for yourself. Atomic Habits is about developing systems, putting systems in place. You fail when you fail, it's not because of the goals, it's the level of systems you have in place. And if you don't have the right systems in place, you can kill it. And you say, what is notary service? I'm not following you on that one. Um, thank you. I know I'm supposed to be reading this stuff out loud, y'all. My bad. All right, cool. I'm actually doing a pretty good job, y'all, keeping up with these comments. Thank you. The Notary Essentials is good. I mean, think about it. If the average notary trainer out there and mentor is telling you, I don't teach you notarizations, I don't deal with that, then why not take the Notary Essentials course when that's what you're supposed to be doing? Again, that's what you took the oath to do. You took an oath to do something and you never being taught how to do it. That don't make sense to me. Yeah, the videos I have, I if you don't understand, my number one advice is look at the videos, and if there's something that needs to be clarified of what I said, I will clarify it. A lot of people, like somebody contacted me, then this is no shade on them if they're looking at it. They asked me, they said they looked at one video and then started and didn't tell me what the video was, but they said I looked at one video and then started asking me questions. And I'm like, look at the rest of the videos. And I told them where to go, notary playlist. But that's what's happening, okay, Shelly, you in Florida. Which my brain, I don't forgot what the question was already. I don't forget the question, but whatever the question is, yeah, Florida. I somewhat remember the question. I'm just having a hard time pulling it back up because I got everybody else's stuff running through. Oh, social security number. Okay, there we go. Yeah, social security number. Yeah. If people want to find you, they'll find you. And everybody's trying to like, well, I want my social out there, this, that, or the other, out there, and the thing is, we are all out there. We are all out there. We are all out there. So, if you're trying to hide, um, which I know this might be a whole lot. I just did Johnson. So who knows how many results going to come up with that. But we're out there. I mean, if you with the NNA, your information is out there. Your information, if somebody got time, they can find you. All right. They can find you. They can find you. So people are like, well, I don't want my information out there. All your information is right there. Now, let me talk about this real quick. Profiles. And Miss Johnson, not picking on you. I just pick you randomly. They don't have anything here in their profile. They don't have any verbiage down there. And I'm gonna show you what I mean. I'll pull me up. Shouldn't take long. Should be me and my son. And I know I got to redo his. But you can get an EIN. All right. All right. So here's me. You need to put that additional information in there. There's so many two things y'all are doing that's messing your profiles up and reason why you can't get sometimes you don't get selected. One, you don't have a picture of yourself. One, you don't have a picture of yourself. They want a picture and not none of that club picture stuff like that. None of this halter top, none of that stuff showing your breasts and me and your chest hairs and all that. None of that stuff. None of that. Nice professional headshot. And then two, y'all don't have any information in here about you. You don't have nothing in there about you. It's so many people. When I just did that little search, there were so many people that came up with no profile picture. And I don't understand why y'all are doing this. You're hurting. This is what's hurting you. It ain't taking a $60 order because you can't even get a $60 order because you don't have a profile picture of yourself up there. All of these people, well, right now I'm not putting out any more specifics about it or modules and all this. And if you looked at the video that I put out there about it, right now, this is not online. This is face to face. Okay. This is face to face training. So there's no quote unquote modules to this part right now. But all of these people here, 3 years experience, 1 year, 10 years. Now they might be hooked up and just getting all kind of business and all of that kind of stuff. But I mean, there's a lot of you don't have any pictures, no pictures, no pictures, no pictures. I mean, you got to have a picture of yourself. And then if you do have a picture of yourself, hopefully you don't have any additional information about yourself. You're not saying anything about who you are and how you can service people. So you need to put all of that stuff in there. And a lot of y'all aren't doing that. Therefore, the companies are like, we're not messing with you. We ain't messing with you. And they say that. Have a professional picture of yourself, but you ain't got no picture of yourself. Have some verbiage about yourself. I'm a good notary. I be on time. I took training. I'm so and so certified. Okay, what that mean? Look at my video I got out there. Your profile will separate you from them. And lastly, on this thing about your social security number and all of that, again, this is why I talk about y'all, people talking about, putting their, if you don't have to sign up for every single signing service. Not every single signing service. Okay. You ain't got to sign up for every single one. You got to sign up for the ones that's going to send you some business. And the moment they're not sending you business, don't even worry about signing up for them anymore and everything. And I think, and then again, TDP, where are you located? I don't even know where you're located. Are you in Virginia? Mm-hmm. Yeah, the laws. Okay, we're talking about the laws for you, Shelly, down there in Florida. Yeah, whatever Florida tells you to do, that's what you do. That's really what it. That's Yeah, I was hoping TDP you would tell me where you was where you're located at and everything, what state you're in and everything. If you might already been bounced out, but but yeah. So I think that's it. We've been on this 2 hours. I wasn't meaning to be on here 2 hours and everything. So, and the person actually had to cancel the thing that they told me to do. So we good. When I get back, I gotta go pick my son up anyway. Um, so nobody hopped on, nobody had any direct questions and all of that. So I hope y'all like the camera angle and everything. Like I said, I like the Logitech, but the I mean, I guess that's okay. I don't like the crispness of me right now. Trying to play with the contrast and everything. So that's the brightness, brighten it up a little bit. So I'm a little with the sharpness. It seems to be sharper when I pull it like that, but the closer I bring it in, that's when it doesn't look as sharp and everything. So, but I do like the angle and everything. All right, Uncle Jay. That's good. I'm glad the video is helping you out, man. And again, if you're in Virginia, you need me help. Now, for those of you who are members, so like and TD, yeah, she's a member, so I gotta get with her. Um, so like if you see that little emblem there by like Akita's name, that means you're a member. And what I've been doing is for members who are people who joined the YouTube membership. What I've been doing is where is it? I wish I could find it. Ah, here we go. Let me pull this up. So for people who want, like what I've been doing, that join button. Um, if you join, be a member. The people who are members, and Akita can attest, those are the people I've been doing one-on-ones if they need it. A lot of people don't, and I've been doing a lot of group training, and passing out information. It's hard for me to just sit here and do the one-on-one for every single person. So what I've been doing, and it was sort of suggested to me, was to have the membership and those who want more detailed help from me. Um, that's how I've been helping them out. A lot of people just been looking at the videos and they're like, nah, we don't need the membership, don't need any one-on-one. I'm good. And they just like supporting. And I appreciate that, and that's why I always ask people to click the thumbs up button, show YouTube that y'all like this channel and all of that. And everything. So I'm not all about the views, but in order to get the word out to people, I'm learning that, I gotta ask y'all to hit the like button and all that kind of stuff and everything. So yeah, thank you. Thank you. I'm glad this was great for y'all. I'm glad this was great for y'all and everything. I wasn't expecting to be on this long, but things changed in my stuff. So it worked out for the better and stuff. So I still got to do my notary tech talk video for tomorrow and post that and everything. Yep, sure, yep. Notaries, that's what I'm saying. Notaries are out there doing stuff and they're being told these things to do. Leave the documents and come back later and all that kind of stuff. Having two appointments at the same time and then drop the documents off at one house and then run somewhere else and go do the I mean, that is just sickening. You know what I'm saying? That is sickening that people would honestly think that it's okay to do that. Would you want somebody to do you that way? And I don't think so. I really don't think you would and stuff. So as always, I do everything I can to help y'all out. This here is about helping people because y'all need help. Not that y'all are incapable of figuring stuff out for yourself, but you do need help, and I want to be able to provide y'all with as much help as I can, um, as my schedule permits, and then also be an example to y'all to show y'all that hey, you just go out here and hustle and work this business, not be a hustler, but out there hustle and take the orders. Like the loan application that got canceled was a $70 one. And then I had a $25 trailing dock one that I did sometime last week and everything. So all right, we gotta bounce you. We gotta bounce. Yeah. And those of y'all who mods, if y'all see people coming in with all that kind of crazy crap, y'all bounce them. Y'all bounce them. I got several mods and everything. So y'all bounce them out quick, fast, and in a hurry, and all of that. But we about to roll on up out of here. Yeah, yeah. Okay, thanks, CJ. Yeah, yeah. So I'm trying to think. This was impromptu, so I don't think there was anything in specific that I really had to say. I just wanted to hop on and practice doing the live stream with two cameras and everything. So it actually looks pretty good. I like it. So, but again, as always, I appreciate y'all. Y'all some wonderful people. And again, and let me say this here. Let me say this here. To those of you who are notary trainers and mentors, I'm not trying to come down on y'all. I really am not. And I know this is probably late because I don't think y'all gonna listen to me at this 2 minute, 2 hour, 6 minute point, but I'm gonna say it anyway. So those of you who may know them and think that I'm coming after them, you tell them to look at the last minute or so of the video of this video and they'll get this. I'm not trying to come at y'all. I'm not trying to stop you from making money. I'm just saying be mindful of the things that you're doing because if you're not doing the stuff right, it can really hurt people. It could really mess some things up. Okay. Don't just do this trying to just make some quick money. Actually do this to help people. And if you do this to help people and help them correctly, then everything will be the better for you. And these people out here, these notaries, these men and women are some of the best people in the world, and they respect who you are in your time, and they will compensate you properly if you help them properly. And I'm a living example of that. And I'm not trying to throw no shine on me and this and that. I'm just being real. The people have been very, very gracious toward me, my wife, all of that, because we're here helping them genuinely, irregardless of what we could ever get financial. That's not the point. The point is you need help. I see it. I'm gonna do everything I can to help you. And if you operate in that regard, you'll see the same benefits and blessing. Yeah, you might make more money than me, but and you might be able to sleep good at night. I can't sleep good at night if I'm screwing people over. And if you are screwing people over, if you just getting over on them, if you really don't care about them, it's gonna come back on you. It really is. So but you do what you do. I'm gonna do what I do. Y'all have a good one. Peace.